Hi guys and welcome to Movies Remastered. In today's video I'm going to show you the fixed scene that I did at the beginning of Rise of Skywalker with Klaud. That's this character. Now I knew I was going to get a lot of flack on this. There are people that actually like this character, and even though that I just found it a bit silly, I don't think you should really target all of your anger and frustration out on me. Just look at this clip here. This will take you back to Star Wars Celebration in Chicago back in 2019, where they bring out all the cast and answer some really vital questions about the franchise.
Where's the nearest barge?
You guys like the scarf?
No more semi-naked Kylos.
And then they ask J.J. Abrams if he can introduce any new characters, and he decides to introduce Klaud. And the audience, hear for yourself. See what you think.
Are there any other creatures that you can show us?
There's a fun character who just appears, whose name is Klaud with a K, K-L-A-U-D.
Now in my opinion that's a really mixed view. They tend to laugh at the character. Now obviously no one really knows who he is at this point, and even though we've watched the movie now, we still don't really know who he is, which is why you have to go to Wikipedia to find out what the character background is and what's going on. Now, in my opinion, I believe, especially with the Wexley character, this is what happens when Wexley's shown in the picture.
There's Greg Rumberg. Wexley.
So this scene was never in the movie, and I do believe that there were a lot more scenes that were cut out with Klaud in it. Now, people say that this poster here was a leak and it was fake and it didn't exist, but it's got all the vital characters. It's got Rey and Chewie, and then it's got Poe, BB-8 and D-O, Kylo Ren, the Knights of Ren, and then you see C-3PO, Finn and Klaud. Now there's loads of other characters that you could have included in here, especially Babu Frick. Why is he not in the poster? So I do believe that Klaud had a bigger part and he was going to have more development, but they just decided maybe it was because of the crowd reaction celebration, or maybe just because of running times, or the way that the movie ended up just having too many influences, especially from the studio, that they decided to cut Klaud. But whatever the reason is, I'm cutting Klaud because this is about my opinions and what I want to do with the movie. Like I say, I'm doing these tutorials for you to edit it and edit these movies however you feel. If you don't like my cuts, then I'm teaching you how to do your own cuts. So rather than seeing these videos as a negative, try and see them as a positive so you can make your own edits. And if you love them, then you don't really need to see any of these movies. So moving on to today's video, I'm going to show you the fixed editions, fixed scenes that I did with Klaud. Now some of these are going to be easy, but others are going to be more difficult because of copyright strikes. Content ID gets flagged with music a lot quicker than footage, so apologies, I'm going to have to turn my music up and turn the footage down, so you're not going to hear it properly, but it's the only way I can get around the copyright. But I'm going to show you exactly what I've done and how I've done it, so let's go and have a look. So what I'll do is I'll show you the original first. Let's have a look, try and get to where we need to be. There you go. So we'll play it from here.
Klaud, hope you fix that surge. Yeah.
So that was the first scene of seeing Klaud. Now again, like I say, he's the mechanic and he doesn't really do anything other than look at it. And you never actually see him fix anything. All he ever does is look. So I'm just going to show you my edit now. So going from the same point.
Turn it off. He's cheating. Definitely.
So it cuts Klaud completely out and it just feels like a really nice smoother transition, and it just didn't really seem to be any point of bringing in that character at that point. So the next one is going to be, it's got music in the background, so again I'm going to have to turn it down and ramp up my background music just to try and drown out the music, but hopefully you can still see what I've done with the scene. So I'm going to show you the original first. Poe apologises and then you see Finn's face. Finn says boo. So that's that part. Let's go from mine. So that's that. I think it's a lot smoother and it just flows a lot easier. Now the next scene is when they basically break through the wall and go to light speed skipping. Now I did show you how to do this before, but I've really trimmed it down a little bit more as well because I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find that actual scene. So if you can see here, there's TIE fighters in front of them and they're firing at them from the front, and then it carries on and then they break through the wall. So what happened to the TIE fighters? So I've had to go back and really trim that back a little bit more so you don't get to see the TIE fighters and they just scoot through the wall. And he also doesn't, Poe doesn't ask how thick Chewie thinks that wall is because it's pointless, it's pointless dialogue. So let's go from there.
How thick do you think that ice wall is?
So there just didn't seem to be a point of that. So I've done my edit like this. So it just doesn't need to have those TIE fighters shooting at them as soon as they come through, because you don't see them being fired upon, you don't see them, well, you don't see anything. They just seem to just scoot past them. So moving on. So the next part was the light speed skipping, and I had to take out Klaud again, screaming because he couldn't hang on. Personally, I think it's quite irresponsible to get a character like that in a dangerous situation, but you know. So that's that scene, but again, like I say, I've removed the whole Rey's not here thing because I think it just goes against the Poe character and the whole Klaud not being able to hang on. So this is my version. Cut that out straight away. No dialogue about Rey. No Klaud, and everything's really nice and smooth. Now I wish I could show you the entire scene, but hopefully I've shown you enough snippets and what I've been able to do with those small 10 cuts just to make those that scene a lot more smoother and try and boost the characters a bit more. So hopefully you like what I've done here. Obviously the ones who love Klaud are not going to like it, but if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like my content and you want to see what I'm doing in the future. I'm going to continue doing these videos whether people like them or not. I just like doing them myself. So good luck if you're trying this yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.